ladies and gentlemen, things just keep getting crazier. Russell Westbrook has just been traded in exchange for Chris Paul, a first round pick 2021, 2024 and 2026, and then two pick swaps in 2021 and 2025. The Houston Rockets just acquired Russell Westbrook in exchange for CP3 and those draft picks. Ladies and gentlemen, this season is going to be crazy. The Houston Rockets just ushered themselves into title contenders once again. There's no avoiding it. First thing you have to understand is this. We have 2 of the last 3 MVPs on the same team. In the past 3 years, Russell Westbrook is MVP, James Harden was MVP. Of course, Giannis just won it this year. The last time we saw 2 MVPs on the team was Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. And we know how that played out. They won 2 championships together. 2 out of the last 3 championships, they're the guys that won it. Russell Westbrook and James Harden are both former MVPs. James Harden is an MVP candidate every single season. This is crazy. Then you factor this. They got rid of CP3. They got rid of his horrible contract. And they got younger at the point guard position. Russell Westbrook is 30 years old. James Harden is 30 years old. We have 2 players in their prime that could give you great basketball for the next 4 to 5 years, barring any injury. When you compare CP3 and Westbrook, we're looking at a couple factors here. Westbrook is bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, he could defend better, he could score better. I mean, this tandem, the last time, you guys have to understand this, the last time James Harden and Russell Westbrook played together was in the NBA Finals in 2011 when they lost to LeBron James and the Miami Heat. And you saw it took a big 3 to really knock them off, and they were still young. Their games weren't that mature back then. Just imagine now them playing in the playoffs together. Not to be undersold, they still have Capella. They still have Gordon. They still have PJ Tucker that can hit a corner 3 and defend. They added another defender that could really take on the challenge of playing tough point guard matchups. And even better, they could put Harden at the 1 and play Westbrook at the 2, which is essentially Westbrook's natural position, and let Harden make all the plays and let Russell Westbrook wreak havoc when he gets the ball. We're looking at 2 guys that don't even need a play called for them. You can just give them the ball to dance on somebody, aggressively go to the basket and make something happen, and now you surround them with shooters. They have space. Russell Westbrook has more space in Houston than he has in OKC. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. The only one drawback I see about this is, can Mike D'Antoni coach Russell Westbrook? Can he still coach James Harden? Because when the Rockets lost to the Golden State Warriors this past season, James Harden hinted that he knew what the problem was. I thought it would be the coaching, but essentially they saw that it was most likely Chris Paul, because him and Chris Paul weren't getting along. All these stories came about how they couldn't get along. So can D'Antoni manage the egos? Because the relationship between Russell Westbrook and James Harden has always been a great one. They complement each other on the court. They know how to play off of each other. They both can detonate for 40 points and get you 15, 20 assists apiece. They make players around them better. But here's the best part about this. Mike D'Antoni's contract negotiation is still in play. So if he can't coach them, guess what? It doesn't matter. You go after Mark Jackson. You go after Jeff Van Gundy, a former Houston Rockets coach, a Texas native, a Houston native. There's still other coaches out there that could coach this tandem. So you don't even need D'Antoni anymore. You could, since you got Westbrook, you essentially got 2 coaches on the floor. You just need to plug in a coach that can manage other egos. Because Russell Westbrook and James Harden, they'll work it out. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Players Club. When Big Bad Dollar had the gun and Jamie Foxx had the gun. He grabbed it from him. He said, "You ain't so bad now, Dollar, huh? Ain't you? It's going to be some trouble. yeah, this is it. This is the trouble right here. Russell Westbrook, James Harden together is gonna be some trouble, or even worse, even better. This reminds me of Menace to Society when Kane got knocked for the whole tape that old dog or whatever, he recorded himself killing somebody in the liquor store. So when they questioned Kane and the officer was like, you said you came to the store around 9:30, right? He's like, yeah, 9:30. And then the officer re-questioned him and he said, you said 11:30, right? He said, yeah. Kane was like 11:30. He's like, see? You know you done fucked up, right? You done fucked up. Earlier, you said 9:30. Now you're saying 11:30. You know you done mucked up, right? The NBA just messed up right now. Paul George, you just messed up right now because not only did Russell Westbrook link up with another MVP caliber player like himself, but his team is stacked with shooters, defenders, two-way players that could just defend 3-and-D guys. And Russell Westbrook could just pass, cut, play with a guy that he's played with for many years, knows his game. They're both from California. These guys gel and play on the court wonderfully. Westbrook is motivated. We said that CP3 and James Harden couldn't make it work, and they made it work. They went to the Western Conference Finals and were one game away from going to the NBA Finals if CP3 doesn't get injured. What do you think is going to happen when you plug in Russell Westbrook? Houston is a title contender. Don't let anybody tell you any different. If they tell you any different, they're lying. They're obviously lying, and they're on either LeBron's jock or Kawhi's jock. I'm a Laker fan, and I can't ignore this play, this move. This is a monumental move. This sets up Houston for the next 4 years to contend for a title. Point blank, period. And we could say what we want about all these guys. You could try to plug up James Harden. We saw how tough that was, but you add Russell Westbrook to the mix. My goodness. In the words of Kenny the Jet Smith, ladies and gentlemen, it's over. It's over. Houston is vying for a championship. We can't leave them out. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.